Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. And we are going to start with IELTS reading module. Ready for that? Okay. Let's start. The title of the passage is Case Study. Now, when you see case study, it means all the passage is a case study. And if you know what the case study is, you say, I know case, but I don't know study. Case is what we take in summer, or when there is a little cozy, little cold, then we take case and chadar and dariya and all that, okay? Case study. Case study is actually the whole thing. Someone did something, their experience is called case study. Tourism New Zealand website. So in this passage, they are going to tell us about the case study of a website, and that website is Tourism New Zealand. The whole thing, when did they make the website, why did they make the website, the reason, the benefits and all that. So switch on your imagination that there is a case study of a website. After reading the title, and if there is any subtitle, you can read that, switching on your imagination, then you will jump to questions. As my friend said, passage 1, actually the first passage should be given 15 minutes only, because mostly we have type A questions here. Type A means questions and answers are in order. So you should have more time, more energy for part 2 and part 3 reading. So, complete the table below. Whatever it is, whenever they use the word complete, it means type A question. Table, flowchart, summary, diagram, whatever it is going to be, right? Complete the table below. Choose one word only from the passage. Now, how many words? From the passage. So, don't be siana enough that I'll write my own word. My vocabulary is quite good, okay? And when you write the word, copy paste the word exactly as the word is written. If there is a hyphen, use the hyphen. The way the word is written, just copy it here. We've got two parts of this table. On the left side, we have section of website, and then there are comments. Now listen, the first target is to find the clue word, because clue word will take you to the part of the passage that contains the answer. And for the most part, the first few answers, they start from first paragraph or second or third. Like questions 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 5. Sometimes they start immediately from first paragraph, otherwise second paragraph or third, but you need to find the clue word. And clue word will take you to the passage, to the part of the passage where there is the answer. Now, let's see. Database of tourism services. First, they say easy for tourism-related businesses to get to the list. Allowed businesses. Underline the word businesses. Dash information regularly. Underline regularly as well. And by the way, for allow, they will use different word. For businesses, they might use any other word. And for information, they can use any other word. And for regularly, they can say on the daily basis, on the regular basis, and all that. Now, let's go back and we try to find something. Businesses, regularly. It's the second paragraph and third line. Okay, do we have the word businesses? Yeah. All right, so will you please come to fifth line, any tourism related business. Second paragraph, fifth line after full stop. Got it? Yes. Now we are going to read from here. And by the way, 1 minute for each question is ample amount of time. For these questions, you should have half minute. Try to get rid of part 1 as early as possible so that you have more time for part 2 and part 3. Now, fifth line, I'm reading, please follow me. Any tourism related business could be listed by filling in a simple form. This meant that even the smallest bed and breakfast address or specialist activity provider could gain a web presence with access to an audience of long-haul visitors. In addition, because participating businesses, be alert now, okay? In addition, because participating businesses were able to update the details they gave on a regular basis. Now, you know answer is over here. Now you have to see the synonyms and the word which is not going to go with anything, that will be your answer. They say here clearly, In addition, because participating businesses were able to update the details. Update the details. Come back. Again, to is going to help you. See that? To. So they mention allowed businesses. What is the word for allowed? Businesses were able. Yes, and this is what you need to find in every question. Businesses were able, and what is the word for details? Information. What is the word for regularly? On the regular basis, and the answer is update. Got it? Whenever you do reading, do it like this. You will learn a lot from each question, and that learning will upgrade you. Next, you are on second level. After solving one test like this, you are on to a different level and all that. Let's go on. Question number 2. Provided a countrywide evaluation. Underline countrywide. Countrywide means different countries. Evaluation of businesses, including their impact. Countrywide evaluation of businesses, including their impact on dash. Now underline the word impact on dash. Let's go back. Same paragraph. For impact, they use the word effect. Impact or effect, they are synonyms. Now I'm reading after that line. Please come to third last line. Tourism New Zealand. Found it? Organized a scheme whereby organizations appearing on the website underwent an independent evaluation against a set of agreed national standards of quality. Okay, as part of this, the effect of each business on the environment. What is the word for effect? Impact. Each business on the environment was considered. So provided a countrywide evaluation of businesses, including their impact on the environment. Answer is good. All right, let's go on. Question number 3, please. Special features on local topics. E.g. E.g. is for example. Absolutely. An interview. Now the clue word is with a former spouse. You know, we use the former prime minister. What does it mean? Previous or ex-prime minister. Ex-prime minister, previous prime minister, former sports dash. Now let's go back. Interview with former sports something. Third paragraph. For sports, they use the word rugby. Okay, please come to second line. One of the most popular was an interview. An interview was our clue word. Interview with former New Zealand All Blacks rugby captain. Now, what's the word for sports? Rugby. And what's the word for former? No? They use the same word. Okay. Yes. Former New Zealand All Blacks rugby captain. So the answer is captain. Well done. Question number 4. And an interactive tour of various locations used in dash. Now these locations were used in something. And this continues. When there is and the sentence continues, you just need to read on. Okay, let's go on. Another feature. Found it? Third line. Another feature that attracted a lot of attention was an interactive journey through a number of locations chosen for blockbuster films. Now come back. Chosen for. And what is the word for chosen for? Used in. And answer is blockbuster films. Yes, well done. Why not blockbuster? Because one word only. And by the way, whenever there is one word only, they will give you extra words. And mostly answers are nouns. Film is a noun, blockbuster is an adjective. So answer is going to be films. All clear? Good. You need to locate the answer, underline that sentence where there is the answer, write question number so that when you go back home, you can practice. Question number 5, information on driving routes or routes. Varied depending on. Driving is your clue word. Now look for driving. Varied depending on. Now driving routes depend on something. Okay, second last line. Let's read it from third last line. To make it easier to plan motoring holidays. The word motoring, driving and all that. The site cataloged the most popular driving routes in the country, highlighting different routes according to the, and what is there? Depending on the, now you understand, according to the, depending on the, these words are same in IELTS. And whenever you practice, you need to notice it. And you will see they will repeat these words elsewhere. In another test, depending on, and for that they use this word here like according to, exactly, right? Let's go on. Travel planner included a map showing selected places. Now map is one clue word. Showing selected places. Oh, just a second. Oh yeah, fifth is missing. Sorry, question number 6, yeah. Including a map showing selected places, details of public transport. Now public transport is here, and local. And by the way, they are going to use another word for local, and local dash. So, next page please. Second page, first paragraph, and I want you to come to fourth line. You know, locating the answer is the most important part in reading. Once you locate the right part of the passage, you are highly likely to find the answer. But if you are scratching a wrong paragraph, you will get more frustrated. At the end, you will write something and move on. Because, you know, you have to write something and you cannot take the pressure. Right? Women can take the pressure, men cannot take the pressure and stress and all that. So when they are under a stressful situation, they will write any word and go on. And then they'll be like, you know, their attitude, okay. So let's read sentence number 4. There are also links to accommodation in the area by registering with the website. Let's just read it a sentence below. A sentence above. The travel planner, I'm reading third sentence. The travel planner offered suggested routes and public transport options between the chosen locations. Okay. After that, they say there were also links to accommodation in the area and local. Listen. In the area means local. Try to find it. In the area means local. Answer is accommodation. All right. Why not public transport? Because they have talked about it in the previous sentence. So that is not the answer. And they've used and over here. And local dash. Now what is the synonym of local? In the area, and answer is accommodation. Local accommodation, accommodation in the area. Got it? Okay. Good. बादाम खाने के लिए और बादाम रोगन सर पे लगाने के लिए. ठीक है, दो चीजें आपके पास होनी चाहिए for reading. All right, next we've got your words. Your words, okay, and that is in inverted commas. So let's see what do they say about that. Travelers could send a link to their. Your words. Travelers could send a link to their. Which paragraph is that? Same paragraph, exactly. And over there you can find your words, and that is in inverted commas. If there is a word in the question that is in inverted commas, that word is going to be in inverted commas in the passage as well. So your words, select where anyone could submit a blog. Travelers could send a link of there. Send a link of there and submit a blog. So answer is blog. Again, I tell you, whether you understand what I'm saying or you don't understand, just locate it. For example, underline blog and see question number 7, answer is blog. This is the line. Where there is that line, write 7 over there so that when you go back home, you can just see and practice. Like he said, you read a paragraph and in a very relaxed way you need to do. So when you go back home, you can practice this with your dinner, like you're chewing your food. Okay, and having your drink. So with that you can practice. Okay, IELTS needs practice. Without practice, tips. For example, you don't know swimming and you come to me, sir, I want to learn diving. That will be the last dive of your life. Okay, so before you learn about diving, you need to learn about swimming. If you know reading, then you can do IELTS reading as well. If you don't know reading, I mean, what you read, you don't understand. Some people think IELTS reading means we have to read something loudly and they will listen to us and say, good, good, good. It's not like this, okay? It's reading comprehension. You have to understand. Thank you. Okay, guys, now we have list of headings, right? List of headings can be very simple. They can be very confusing, and the confusing element is they always give you some extra headings. So because of extra headings, and those extra headings are so, what do you say, they cover almost everything about the passage. So they would look like this heading can be used everywhere. You can use it everywhere. So such type of headings are just like that. Then we have, after this, we have questions 20 to 23. We call them matching. You have to match these names, with the list of ideas. And over here, questions and answers are in order. The names are in order, by the way. And then we have questions 24 to 26, that is summary completion. And in summary completion also, questions and answers are in order. So as per my advice, you should start from 24 to 26. Then you should come back to 20 to 23. And at the end, you should do list of headings, right? Because for list of headings, you need full energy and all that. But as we are recording the video, so let's start with list of headings first. Okay, for list of headings, the first thing is when you're doing the first question, it is also advisable that if you find the short paragraph or the shortest paragraph, start from there. Sometimes some paragraphs are long, some paragraphs are short. So start from the short paragraph and all that. But anyways, what you have to do for list of headings, they check your ability whether you can skim the paragraph and get to the gist or not. You need to go to the gist of the paragraph. Sometimes, but not always, sometimes you read the first line of this paragraph and you are clear, you find the heading, because some paragraphs, they start with the topic sentence. But I have noticed there are some paragraphs, they start with general idea. And when they reach in the middle, there the writer introduces the main topic. In that case, the middle of the paragraph is important. And I've also solved some tests where they start with general idea, they go on. In the end, they conclude with the main topic. Right? So it can be in the first line, it can be somewhere in the middle, it can be somewhere at the end, but the thing is, you need to be good at skimming. Skimming is to read something quickly and to get to the gist. So in order to skim, I would advise you to read the first sentence, right? And then see if there is any clear direction. If you don't understand anything, then you read the second sentence, right? And if two sentences make any good sense, then you can go back. And otherwise, if still you are unclear, then you can read something in the middle, right? Or otherwise at the end. But remember one thing, for list of headings, there is a warning. More you read the paragraph, more you're going to be confused. Because you read one sentence, then you read another, then you read another, then you're going to be too much confused and what to do and all that, okay? Now, there is another thing. For list of headings, you must know how to interpret the headings. Interpret the headings means how to define the headings in your own words. Because you know, each heading is actually the heading of an idea. So you need to identify the idea which is linked with that very heading. This is what I'm going to tell you now. Please come to list of headings. Heading number 1. And by the way, for list of headings, you are going to use Roman numbers. Okay, and do you know how to write Roman numbers? Simple English letters. I is 1. I is 2. I is 3. Okay, and IV is 4. So for list of headings, you have to use Roman numbers. Don't use English numbers, right? Heading number 1. Productive outcomes that may result from boredom. Now listen, underline productive outcomes and boredom. Okay? What is the outcome of boredom? What is the outcome of boredom? Now listen, imagination. You need to imagine. The best way to retain what you read in reading is imagination. Boredom and outcome. If they say from boredom you can learn to be creative. Or if you feel bored, the outcome of that, the end result of that. So outcome of boredom. And one more thing. Before you start reading, whenever they give you list of headings are given before the passage. And then there is the passage. And for you, it is important to read the title of the passage. Please come to the title. Why being bored is stimulating. Now make a boring face. Make a boring face. Why being bored is stimulating and useful too. So when you feel bored, that can be stimulating, that can be useful. Subtitle. This most common of emotions. What do they mean by most common of emotions? Boredom. Boredom is an emotion, right? This most common of emotions is turning out to be more interesting than we thought. So it means the whole passage is about boredom, and boredom is becoming very interesting, and the outcome and all that. So first you read the title, or if there is any subtitle, then you read the headings. Come back to list of headings. Heading number 2, what teachers can do to prevent boredom. Underline teachers. For that they use the word trainers, teachers, school, education, university, college, blah, blah, blah. And when you read the word teachers, think about your teacher. Right? Think about Miss Annie, Miss Nasia, Miss Shazia, Sir Nadeem, Sir... Huh? Can do. Miss Komal. Komal kidhar ke baad chala gaya. What teachers can do to prevent boredom. So just stick to the word teachers. Heading number 3. New explanation and new cure for boredom. New. For that they use the word recent research. The recent care. Modern. Current. Latest. Got it now? Yes. Problems with scientific approach to boredom. Now they will, in one paragraph, they will talk about the scientific approach, how science is approaching boredom, and there will be an issue with that, problem with that. So underline the word problems, scientific approach, and boredom. Potential danger arising from boredom. Danger arising from boredom. They say boredom can lead to suicide. For example, right, you feel bored and you say, okay, so potential danger arising from, your imagination. If you link these type of ideas, you will retain all the things. Heading number 6, creating a system of classification for feeling boredom. Listen, whenever they use the word classification, it means types of. Right? Creating a system of classification for feeling of boredom means the types of boredom. How can we define boredom? Boredom can be defined in 3 types. First type, second type, third type. So classification, kinds, types and all that. Okay? थल्ले छोड़ देता है? हाँ, ये ऐसे लोग कनाडा जाते हैं फिर उनको जुर्माना नहीं होता. दूसरे कहेंगे कि मैं तो पान का ही वो फेंका था बाहर and all that. Okay? Good. Age groups most affected by boredom. Very simple. Young people, old people, women, men, children. Got it? So this is what I call interpreting the headings. And when you interpret the headings, you have to retain them. And the best way is to visualize. Last, identifying those. Those means people. Identifying those most affected by boredom. If they say housewives are most affected by boredom, the whole paragraph about that, so this heading will go there. Now you've read the headings, the real thing starts now. We go to the first paragraph. Okay, I'm reading the first line. We all know how it feels. It's impossible to keep your mind on anything. Time stretches out and all the things you could do seem equally unlikely to make you feel better. We are not clear. It's a general sentence about boredom. Second one. But defining boredom so that it can be studied in the lab. In the lab means scientific. Defining boredom so that it can be studied in the lab has proved difficult. Difficult means problems. Come back. Heading number 4. Problems with a scientific approach to boredom. Now tell me, what is the word for problems? Difficult. What is the word for scientific approach? In the lab. Exactly. Okay. So for question number 14, paragraph A, correct answer is And now there is something you must do. Cross heading number 4. You will not read it again because one heading will be used once only. So please write a small cross on heading number. Sara nahi kaat dena. Aur work hi paad dena. Okay. Not like this. just a little cross on number 4. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You got to control. Yes. Because we will use one heading once only. और दूसरे का भी टेस्ट फाड़ दिया तू भी छट दे रीडिंग ये so paragraph B please. Let's come to paragraph B. By asking people about their experiences of boredom, Thomas Goetz, now it's all going to be about him. So now you're going to see what do they talk about. Underline the word Thomas Goetz. There can be more questions about him and all that. University of this and that, and whenever they introduce the scientist, university of this, professor of this and that, don't read that, skip to it. So when you do skimming, you do a lot of skipping. Skimming means read, skip, read, skip, okay? Sometimes you read more than skip a little, sometimes you skip more and all that. Anyways, now please come to third line. Recently identified 5 distinct types. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 5 different types. Indifferent, calibrating, searching, rectant, and apathetic. These can be plotted on 2 axes. One running left to right, which measures low to high arousal and all that. And one of the 5 types and this and that. So creating a system of classification for feelings of boredom. And do you know why you're finding the answers? Because you read and interpreted the headings clearly. Otherwise you will read on and on and on and on. फिर कुछ ना कुछ तो लगाना ही है. हाँ, किते ना किते ते मेरा ब्याह होना ही सी. Yeah. Okay. So for question B, why answer is heading number 6. Creating a system of classification for feelings of boredom. They use the word identified 5 distinct types. So classification and types, they are the same words. For paragraph B, correct answer is heading number 6. On heading number 6 nu paar deo. Cross kar deo, okay? Yeah. So paragraph C, please come to that. Psychologist Sandy, you know, Retwali. Sandy Mann at the University of Central, this goes further. All emotions are there for a reason, including boredom. She is going to talk about the benefits of boredom. All emotions are there, including boredom. She says, man has found that being bored makes us more. Now, what is it? This is the productive outcome that may result from boredom. You must be thinking, test आसान है. नहीं, heading सही पढ़ी हमने. Okay, yeah. So, productive outcome, for that, what is the word? Huh? More creative, exactly. And may result from boredom. So, for C, heading number 1. 1 को cross कर दें. आराम से हल्का सा. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Paragraph D. D for doctor. Psychologist John Eastwood at York University in Toronto, Canada, isn't convinced if you are in a state of mind wandering, you are not bored. He says, paragraph D is not labeled. Please label it. It's the last paragraph on the first page of this passage. Okay? Found it? After paragraph C, the very next paragraph is D. It's not written here. Yes, psychologist John Eastwood. Found it? It is labeled in my book, not labeled. Okay. Meri purani kitab hogi. All right, let's go on. If you're in a state of mind wandering, you're not bored, he says. In my view, by definition, boredom is an undesirable state. That doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't adaptive. He adds, pain is adaptive. If we don't have physical pain, bad things would happen to us. Does that mean that we should actively cause pain? No, but even if boredom has evolved to help us survive, it can still be toxic. And the paragraph continues. Why 5? A potential danger arising from boredom. And what is that danger? Pain. That doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't adaptive, that pain is adaptive, but what else? Toxic, yeah. Yes, it can still be toxic if allowed to fester. So this sentence and the whole thing, it can still be toxic if allowed to fester and all that. Okay, so heading number 5 will go with paragraph D. Cross heading number 5 as well. Now please come to paragraph E. E for elephant. Eastwood team is now trying to explore why the attention system fails. It's early days, but they think that at least some of it comes down to personality. Are you clear about anything? Not yet. Then read on. Boredom proneness has been linked with a variety of traits. People who are motivated by pleasure, it's the first type of people, seem to suffer particularly badly. Other personalities, this is second type. Other personality traits such as curiosity are associated with high boredom threshold. So what are they talking about? Absolutely. Heading number 8. Identifying those most affected by boredom. And what are they? What are those people? People who are motivated by pleasure. For example, if you listen to music and you start dancing like a monkey or anything like that, then there is no music, you'll be sad. Okay, so that is the type of people who are motivated by pleasure, seem to suffer particularly badly. Suffer from what? Suffer from boredom, yes. And then other personality traits such as curiosity are associated with the high boredom and all that. So for question number 18, paragraph E, correct heading is 8. Cross 8 as well. Paragraph F. Psychologist Francois speculates that our over-connected lifestyle might even be a new source of boredom. In modern human society, there is a lot of overstimulation, but still a lot of problems finding meaning, she says. So instead of seeking yet more mental stimulation, perhaps we should leave our phones alone meaningful way. Okay, what is that? A new explanation to a new cure for boredom. What is the word for new explanation? Exactly. In modern human society, that's the word. There is a lot of overstimulation, but still a lot of problem finding meaning, she says. So instead of seeking yet more mental stimulation, perhaps we should leave our mobiles alone. What is that? Exactly, that is the cure. We should leave our phones alone and use boredom to motivate us to engage with the world in a more meaningful way. So that is the solution for heading number 3, a new explanation and a new cure. What is the cure? Leave your mobiles, right? And then find something else. Engage with the world in a more meaningful way. But some people, when they leave their mobile, their wives pick up their mobile. Yeah, and they know the codes as well. One of my friends, his mobile code was JANU. Thank you. Okay, guys, now we have questions 20 to 23. And again, as I mentioned, questions and answers are going to be in order. Yes, one thing. If list of ideas is given in questions and the names of people, they are given in options, in that case, you have to follow the options. This question type is called matching, where you have to match the list of scientists with their statements. In that case, most of the time, statements are given in questions and list of scientists is given in options, A, B, C, D. So in that case, questions are not in order, but that list of scientists, they are in order. Please try to find Peter 2. First paragraph, we've got Peter 2. Good. First paragraph, Peter, toy. All right, let's read from here, please. I'm reading it from fourth last line. A lively history. Got it? So, a lively history, Peter 2 at the University of Calgary, Canada, compares it to digest an emotion that motivates us to stay away from certain situations. Read this carefully. Okay, now for matching, whenever they give you a statement which is in inverted commas, that is highly important. Next statement starts in inverted commas. If digest protects humans from infection, boredom may protect them from infectious social situations, he suggests. Just keep this in mind. Disgust. If disgust protects human from infection, boredom may protect them from infectious social situations. So come back. Option A, way we live today may encourage boredom. Some answers are going to be yes, some answers are no, some answers are maybe and all that. Option B, one sort of boredom is worse than all others. No. Option C, levels of boredom may fall in the future. No, or not at all. Option D, trying to cope with boredom can increase its negative effects. No. Option E, boredom may encourage us to avoid an unpleasant experience. Come back. If disgust protects humans from infection, boredom may protect them. Boredom may protect them means boredom may encourage us to avoid from infectious social situation, and for that they use the word unpleasant experience. Now please cross option E from the list because one option will be used once only. Question number 20 is done. Fine. 21 is Thomas Goetz. Now you got to go back and look for Thomas Goetz. Good. Now can you see they are in order? This is what we call systematic reading. Systematic reading means we know where questions are in order, where answers are not in order, and all that, and we're doing it systematically. Okay, now we got this Goetz there in the beginning. So let's just skim through this thing. Thomas Goetz and his team found it about his university calibrating and all that. Please come to the middle. There they say, Goetz has found that while people experience all kinds of boredom, they tend to specialize in one. Means they experience many types of boredom, but they are specialized in one type of boredom. Of the 5 types, the most damaging is reactant. There are 5 types, and the most damaging is reactant. One sort of boredom is worse than all the others. And what is that one sort? Of the 5 types, the most damaging is reactant is one type of boredom which is more dangerous than the others. For question number 21, answer is B for boy. Is this clear to all of you? Yeah? Good. Now please cross B as well. Will not consider B second time. Question number 22, John Eastwood. Paragraph D for Dr. John Eastwood is here. John Eastwood, the first thing, and then let's go to the next one. For Eastwood, and by the way, we've read the first part of it, pain and this and that. So where you find one answer, you need to look ahead of that or before that, right? Now, second page, first paragraph, first line, fifth word. For Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is a failure to put our attention system into gear. This causes an inability to focus on anything, which makes time seems to go painfully slowly. What's more, your efforts to improve the situation can end up making you feel worse. People try to connect with the word and all that. Let's come back. Trying to cope up with boredom can increase its negative effects. Well done. Please come back. Your efforts to improve the situation. What is the wording for that? Trying to cope up with boredom. Your efforts to improve the situation can end up making you feel worse. And what is the word for that? can increase its negative effects. What are the negative effects? You feel more worse or you feel worse actually. So for question number 22, answer is D. Good. Now what is left? A and C. Question number 23. Francois. Now where do we find him? Last paragraph. Okay, psychologist Francois speculates that our over-connected lifestyle, we've read this already by the way, see that? Our over-connected lifestyle might even be a new source of boredom in modern human society. And then there is that. Oh, option A, the way we live today may encourage boredom. What is the sentence for that? Our over-connected lifestyles. What does it mean? The way we live today. What is the word for today? In modern human society. Yeah, in the next line he used the word in modern human society. That means today. And our over-connected lifestyle, for that he used the word the way we live today may encourage boredom. 23, answer is A. Now which option was extra? C, levels of boredom may fall in the future. Usually there is one option like this, okay? All right, thank you. Very good. But कैमरे के पीछे मुझे हंस के देखना है. ये तबीयत सही है? बस जब शादी का तीसरा साल शुरू होता है ना, तो फिर बंदा पहले 2 साल भूल जाता है. फिर वो कहता है कि बस. All right. Okay, question number 20, 21, 22, 23, we'll do that later. Let's do questions 24 to 26 because over here we've got summary completion. Complete the summary below. Write your answers in boxes 24 to 26. Responses to boredom. Now they will be, because there is a summary and answers are going to be in order. And when there is one summary, answers are in 1 or 2 paragraphs grouped together. Okay, so we've got this responses to boredom. Right. Yes, responses are in paragraph D, absolutely. So now we found it, so we need to go on from paragraph D. And summary is basically the summary of 2-3 paragraphs, right? So let's see. From the summary, first of all, you will find a clue word that will take you to the passage. Responses to boredom. For John Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is that people cannot. Let's go back. People cannot. John Eastwood. It starts from paragraph D. Next page. If allowed to fester. For Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is a failure to put our attention system into gear. Okay? This causes an inability, underline inability. Inability means people cannot. Inability means people cannot. Inability to focus. So people cannot focus. Now with can, we never use to. People cannot focus, inability to focus. Got it? So if you know these things, these words, reading will be easier for you. Otherwise, it will be difficult. People cannot focus and inability to focus due to a failure in what he calls the attention system. And as a result, they means people. They become frustrated and irritable. His team, whose team? John Eastwood's team. His team suggests that those for whom dash is an important aim in life. Dash is an important aim in life. His team. Paragraph E. Good. All right, just come to third line. Paragraph E. Boredom proneness has been linked with a variety of traits. People who are motivated by, now try to understand. People who are motivated by and Those for whom dash is an important aim in life. Important aim in life means people who are motivated by. Motivated by what? Pleasure. Exactly. So people who are motivated by pleasure, and his team suggests that those for whom pleasure is an important aim in life may have problems. Answer is pleasure, not palayar, tarayar, mayar, yeah, liar. So pleasure is an important aim in life, may have problems in coping with boredom, whereas those, now second type of people, whereas those who have the characteristic of, go back, those who have characteristic means personality trait, characteristic of personality trait, and for those he used the word other personality traits such as curiosity. That's right, personality traits, and for that they use the word characteristic of. Personality trait, characteristic, and answer is curiosity. Okay, so you found 3 answers in 2 paragraphs and they were grouped together, right? 2 paragraphs, 3 answers. This is good. Got it? So you can find your own order of solving academic IELTS reading. Type A questions should be preferred. Then you can do type B at the end. And most of the question types, they are type A, where questions and answers are in order, right? Thank you. Okay guys, now we have reading passage 3, the biggest elephant, right? Part 1, passage 1 is baby elephant, right? Baby means actual baby, small elephant, okay, yeah. And part 2 is medium-sized elephant, and now we have the largest elephant, artificial artist. And by the way, part 3 can be easier if there are more type A questions in that, right? Artificial artists, you know, painting, calligraphy, drawing and all that. Artificial artists mean they use some artificial intelligence to make paintings, drawings and all that. Let's go on. Can computers really create works of art? They will talk about computers creating some paintings and drawings and sceneries and all that. So the whole passage is going to be about that. Now just switch on your imagination. Think about computers creating some paintings and all that, okay? Now we come to questions. Questions 27 to 31, multiple choice options. Right? So the best way is if there are 5 questions, all A means 1 correct answer. All B's mean 1 correct answer. All C's mean 2 correct answers. And all D means just 1 correct answer. So never do that. If you do it like this, your answers are going to be, and don't do it first one, I think A. Second one, I think B. Why B? Because first one is A. Right? And third one is C. Never do it like this, okay? If the time is running out, half minute, 1 minute left, then all A, but try to find something in the middle, all B's and all that. But don't use it, it's only in case of emergency. Okay, next questions, 32 to 37, matching, sentence completion. Complete each sentence with the correct ending A to G. And luckily, questions and answers are in order. We call it sentence completion with a box. Whenever we have sentence completion with the box, questions and answers in the passage, they are in order. And the last questions, your favorite ones, 38 to 40, yes, no, not given. And the most common mistake that students do with yes, no, not given, they write true, false, not given. And then they lose marks for that. For yes, no, if you write true, false, you are going to lose marks there, right? So for yes, no, yes, no. For true, false, you got to write true, false. Now, where should we start? Anywhere, but if I think about you guys should start from 38 to 40 because you are likely to find these answers in 1 or 2 paragraphs together. Then you can do 32 to 37 and finally you can come to this multiple choice. But I will start with multiple choice because I'm playing at pro level. Just kidding. Yeah, some reading tests are confusing for me also, mind-boggling for me also. Because I'm a non-native speaker of English, so this is true. I acknowledge this thing. Okay, in multiple choice questions, we call them type A questions. Questions and answers are in order. Now remember one thing. In the passage, there is one sentence which is going to match with one of these options. You don't have to read a lot. In IELTS reading, for list of headings, you have to read 3, 4, 5 sentences. But otherwise, there is always one sentence which is going to give you the answer. Now, locating that sentence and fetching the answer from that sentence, that needs a lot of practice, right? So, question number 27. What is the writer suggesting about computer-produced works in first paragraph? Sometimes they become very dayalu. You know dayalu? Yeah, exactly. They tell us first paragraph. It could be better if they say first paragraph, second line. Okay? It could be easier for us. First paragraph, second line. So what is the writer suggesting? Now we go to first paragraph and we are going to see what is the suggestion of the writer. And the writer will not use the word I suggest, in my suggestion, as per my suggestion. No, the writer is going to give that suggestion itself. So what is the writer suggesting about computer produced works in the first paragraph? Please come to first paragraph. The painting fool is one of a growing number of computer programs which, so their makers claim, possess creative talents. Makers claim possess creative talents. Classical music by an artificial composer has had audience enraptured and even tricked them into believing a human was behind the score. So what is he saying? He's telling us there is this painting fool, and it is a computer software that creates painting, and they have done the same thing with music, right? Where computer actually made the music and they played the music in front of people and told them it was made by people. Artwork painted by robot have sold for thousands of dollars and being hung in prestigious galleries. Now, this painting has been made by robots, so it is there. They've got piece of music, they've got paintings and all that. And software has been built. Now, please come back. Over here, elimination is the best way. Out of 4 options, you read 2 options and you realize not at all. You read 2 options and then you say maybe. So for maybe, you need to stop. Option A. People's acceptance of them can vary considerably. They talked about this, that it is hung in the gallery and all that, but people acceptance vary. There is no mention of that. So A is not the answer. For the time being, let's leave B, come to C. They have had more success in some artistic genres than in other. Have they given any comparison that in music they have more success than in painting? So comparison has not been given. That is why C is not the right answer. Option D, advances are not as significant as the public believes them to be. Advances means the progress is not as significant as public believes them to be. Yes or no? No. Now come to option B. A great deal of progress has already been attained in this field. Now what is that great deal of progress? A painting made by robot has been hung in a gallery. Music has been composed. Now they make paintings. So great deal of progress has already been done. So what is that? Classical music, that is one thing. Then they talk about painting by a robot sold for thousands of dollars. That is second thing, right? So correct answer for question number 27 is B, great deal of progress. And what is that progress? Robot made a painting and sold for thousands of dollars. Something like that. Now let's go on. Abhi sanata chhana shuru ho gaya. According to Geraint Wiggins, when the names are like this, you can read them anyway, there is no problem. According to Geraint Wiggins, why are many people worried by computer art? Now first we find Geraint Wiggins and then we find the reason why are many people worried by computer art. I said questions and answers are in order, so second paragraph, we've got this third line. Let's read it from third line. because this is inverted commas. This is a question at the very core of humanity, says Cherent Wiggins, a computational creative researcher at Goldsmiths, University of London. It scares a lot of people. They are worried that it is taking something special away from what it means to be a human. Human make paintings, human create music, human actually make designs and all that. So what is it that he's saying? They are worried. Who are worried? People are worried that it is taking something special away from what it means to be human. Now please come, listen. What it means to be human means the basic human quality. Come back. Option A, it is aesthetically inferior to human art. Comparison is not given. Option B, it may ultimately supersede human art. No. Option C, it undermines a fundamental human quality. Now, what is fundamental human quality? For that, they use the word, they are worried that it is taking something special away from what it means to be human. So, that fundamental human quality, answer is C. Got it? Good. Question number 29. What is a key difference, underline key difference? What is a key difference between Aaron and Painting Fool? Now there are two softwares, Aaron and Painting Fool. What is the key difference between these two softwares? Okay, you need to come to third paragraph and there you find Aaron. Right? Exactly. And then because it's about Painting Fool, in the next paragraph there is Painting Fool. So now you have to read two things and then you got to see what is the key difference. I'm reading Aaron. Please follow me. Third paragraph, third last line. Aaron can pick up a paintbrush and paint on canvas on its own. Means automatic. Got it? It'll pick up the paintbrush and it'll start doing automatic. Impresses perhaps, but it is still little more than a tool to realize the programmer's own creative ideas. Now come to second one. Okay, they talk about Painting Fool. Simon Colton, the designer of Painting Fool, is keen to make sure his creation doesn't attract the same criticism. Unlike earlier artists such as Aaron, the Painting Fool only needs minimal direction and can come up with its own concepts by going online for material. So, come back. A, its programmer's background. No, not at all. Option B, public response to its work. Not mentioned yet. Not mentioned yet. Option D for doctor. Come to D. Technical standard of its output. No. Option C, source of its subject matter. Now please come back. Source of its subject matter. Now they said Arson can pick up a paintbrush and paint on canvas on its own. One thing. And then they say the Painting Fool only needs minimal direction and can come up with its own concept. So what is that with its own concept? That is actually the source of its subject matter, and this is the difference. One can do on its own and second can pick it up. Okay, actually, right now you're doing multiple tasks. You are listening to me, you're reading, you're solving the test. There's a lot of interruption. I'm speaking loudly. Sometimes you try to read and I'm talking at the same time. But when you're going to do this test alone at home, you will understand most of these things, right? So don't worry about it. Let's go on. Question number 30. What point does Simon Colton make in the fourth paragraph? So for point, they usually use the word Simon Colton argues. He says and all that. What point does Simon Colton make in the fourth paragraph? Please come to fourth paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see Colton argues? Yeah. Which line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seventh line. Seventh line. All right. It's just like the same thing कि बैंड बाजे वाला बाजा बजा रहा है, आप उसके सामने इमली खा रहे हैं. Colton argues that such reactions arise from people's double standards toward software produced and human produced art. What does he argue? People's double standards towards software produced and human produced art. Software produced means by computer, by robot, and human produced means made by human. After all, he says, consider that the painting full painted and all that. Anyways, let's come back. A, software, I'm reading A. Question number 30. Software produced art is often dismissed as childish and simplistic. Not at all. B, same concepts of creativity should not be applied to all forms of art. No. Let me tell you, this elimination is the best way to deal with multiple choice. Sometimes if you strongly eliminate 3 choices and you don't even know 4th one is the right answer, that will be the right answer. So if you eliminate successfully, wisely, you will be left with the right answer. C, it is unreasonable to expect a machine to be as imaginative as a human being. No, not mentioned, imagination and all that. Option D, people tend to judge computer art and human art according to different. And what is that different criteria? Double standards. Excellent. D will be the right answer. See that answers are coming systematically. And elimination. Elimination means wrong one out. Means आप बाहर चले जाएं, आप बाहर चले जाएं, आप आ जाएं. Okay? बैठा रहा है, बाहर नहीं जाना. The writer, question number 31. The writer refers to the paintings of a chair. Clue word? Chair. Writer पहले पूरा पढ़ तो नहीं है क्या? Chair? अच्छा चलो chair किधर लिखा? Question तो पढ़ो क्या है? The writer refers to the paintings of a chair as an example of computer art which, so chair is the example of computer art which, let's go back. Exactly. 4th last line. Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4th last line. And some of the painting fools. Found it? Everyone? Okay. Some of the painting fools' paintings of a chair came out in black and white thanks to a technical glitch. Now what happened? Some paintings were black and white and there was a technical glitch. Glitch means fault, technical fault and all that. This gives the work an eerie, ghost-like quality. Human artists like the renowned Ellsworth Kelly are lauded for limiting their color palette. Now they use limited colors, limiting their color palette, but what did the computer do? It made the painting black and white and it gave a ghost-like look and all that. So why should computers be any different? Let's come back. If you're still unclear, read this again. Some of the fool's paintings of a chair came out in black and white thanks to technical glitch. This gives the work an airy, ghost-like quality. Human artists like the renowned Ellsworth Kelly are lauded for limiting their color palette. So why should computers be any different? They should do that as well. Okay, question number 31. The writer refers to the painting of a chair as an example of computer art which A, achieves a particularly striking effect. Okay, option B, exhibits a certain level of genuine artistic skill. Option C, closely resembles that of a well-known artist. No. Option D, highlights the technical limitations of the software. No. It doesn't highlight. Let's go back again. B is exhibits a certain level of genuine artistic skill. No. Come back. Let's read again. Let's read again. Okay, let's read this one again and then we decide. Some of the fool's paintings of a chair came out in black and white thanks to technical glitch. This gives the work an airy, ghost-like quality. Human artists like the renowned Ellsworth Kelly are lauded for limiting their color palette. Why should computers be any different? Correct answer is A, achieves a particularly striking effect. I tell you why. Achieves a particularly striking effect. Now come back. What is that particularly striking effect that is limiting their color palette? Limiting their color palette. So actually they say human artists like Ellsworth Kelly are lauded for limiting their color palette. They are lauded. What does it mean? Appreciated. They are appreciated for limiting their color palette. So why should computers be any different when computer, because of a technical glitch, made the painting of a chair differently? So they said why computers should not do it when humans are doing that. So this thing, focus, limiting their color palette. Color palette is, the palette they are holding. A palette they are holding full of colors and all that. Okay. So for that they said achieves a particularly striking effect. And what is that striking effect over here? Airy, ghost-like quality. And how did they achieve? Limiting their color palette. Certain option exhibits a certain level of not genuine artistic skill. No. All right. Now we have questions 32 to 37. This is going to be very simple, right? Don't worry about it. What you have to do, first you will read the question only, find a clue word. After that you go to the passage and find the second part of the sentence. One part is given in the question, second part you will find in the passage, and then you're going to match that second part because they'll use a lot of synonyms with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, question number 32, please. Simon Colton says it is important to consider the long-term view when. It is important to consider the long-term view when what? Let's go back. And by the way, the great news is all the answers are in third last paragraph. See, one paragraph and how many answers? 2, 4, 6 answers in one paragraph. So please come to third last paragraph of the passage. Simon Colton says it is important to consider the long-term view when. I'm reading from the beginning. Researchers like Colton, got it? Yes. Please follow me. Researchers like Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity directly to that of humans who have had millennia to develop our skills. Others, though, are fascinated by the prospect. Now listen, what is it? Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity directly to that of human who have had millennia to develop their skills. Means human being, they have spent thousands of centuries, a long time to develop their skills. Let's see. Okay, listen, come back here again. Researchers like Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity directly. Machine creativity means computer, paintings and all that. Machine creativity directly to make of that of human. So what is he comparing? Computer creativity with human creativity, and he's saying it is not right to measure. Like Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity and all that. Now please come to options. Option A, generating work that was virtually indistinguishable from that of human. No. B, knowing whether it was the work of humans or software. There is no mention of software yet. Option C, producing work entirely dependent on the imagination of its creator. No. Option D, comparing the artistic achievements of human and what is he doing? He is comparing artistic achievement of human and computers. So come back and read again. Researchers like Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity directly to that of human. So he's comparing for question number 32. Correct answer is D, and you cross D also because one option will be used once only. Question number 33. David Kopp's EMI. Now what's the clue word? David Kopp and EMI software supervised people by. How does it supervise people? Good. EMI is mentioned there, David Kopp. So it's the fourth line. Composer David Kopp. Found it? Everyone? Good. Composer David Kopp invented a program called Experiments in Musical Intelligence, or EMI. Not only did EMI create compositions in Kopp's style, but also that of the... Okay, so for question number 33, A is the right answer. Please cross A as well. Question number 34. Gerent Wiggins criticized Kopp for not something he did not do. Please come back, same paragraph. I want you to come to this next line. Not everyone. Found it? In the middle. Please be attentive. Not everyone was impressed, however. Then they say, some such as Wiggins. Now be careful. Such as Wiggins have blasted Kopp's work as pseudoscience and condemned him for his deliberately vague explanation of how the software worked. What did he do? He gave the vague explanation of, and deliberately means janbooch ke, vague explanation of how software worked. Come back. Revealing the technical details of this program, and what is the word for that? They said criticized Kopp for not, option E, revealing the technical details of his program. Now come back to the passage. Condemned him for his deliberately vague explanation of how the software worked. What does it mean? It means he did not give the clear explanation. So what's the question? Wiggins criticized Kopp for not, option E, revealing the technical details of his program. Revealing, because he gave vague information. So for not revealing the technical details of his program. Let's go on. Question number 35. Douglas Hofstadter claimed that EMI was. Same paragraph. Douglas claimed that EMI was. Can you see EMI and Douglas? Meanwhile, Douglas. See, all the answers are in a series, one sentence only, but now this is advanced English. It's not basic intermediate English, it's advanced English. Meanwhile, Douglas Hofstadter of Indiana University said EMI created replicas which still rely completely on the original artistic's creativity impulses. That's it. So, what does he say? EMI created replica of the original music. Now come back. C, exactly, that's right. Douglas Hofstadter claimed that EMI was producing work entirely dependent. For entirely dependent, they use the word duplicate on the imagination of its creator. So when your work is entirely dependent on the imagination of its creator, that means EMI created replicas which still rely completely on the original artist's creative impulses. So for 35, answer is C. Just note it down, mark it there, and go back home and just read again. 36. Audiences who had listened to EMI's music became angry after. Audiences, they became angry after what? Can you see the word audience? Okay, when audiences found out the truth, they were often outraged. So when were they outraged? When they found out the truth. When they found the reality that this was artificial music played by computer, they said, तो आड़ी है सीधी तैसी पेंटिंग इतनी अच्छी बनाई कंप्यूटर ने बनाई, म्यूजिक इतना अच्छा प्ले हुआ कंप्यूटर ने प्ले किया. So audiences were often outraged with Cope. So please come back. Now we find something. Audiences who had listened to EMI's music became angry after discovering that it was the product of a computer program. After discovering, and what is the word for discovering? Found out. Found out the truth and discovering. For 36, answer is G. Question number 37. Participants in David Moffett's study had to assess music without. They had to assess music without what? For without, they can use any other word. Please come to next paragraph. Second line. Can you see the word David Moffett? Okay, I'm reading from there. Second last paragraph, second line after question mark. A study by computer scientist David Moffett of Glasgow University provides a clue. He asked both expert musicians and non-expert to assess 6 compositions. The participants weren't told beforehand whether the tunes were composed by humans or computer. Come back. Participants weren't told. That means participants didn't know. Option B, knowing whether it was the work of human or software. So for without, what is the word? Participants weren't told. Got it? The participants weren't told beforehand whether the tunes were composed by human or computers. So 37, participants in David Moffett's study had to assess music without knowing whether it was the work of human or software. Okay, now again I tell you, we are doing this IELTS reading, academic reading part 3, and these questions, if you answer correctly, your band score reaches 8 and then 9. With 35 correct answers in academic reading, you get 8 band. Okay, and then 9 band. So this is that high level of English that they have. If your target band is 7, you need 30 correct answers, so don't worry about that. But still you need to, because IELTS is the best way to improve your English also. IELTS listening will gradually improve your English when you reach part 2, part 3, part 4. IELTS reading, you see part 1 was simple, you were happy. Part 2 was still fine, you are double happy. And then part 3, because that is meant for expert users of English, the definition of 9 band expert user, right? Or I think there's another definition for 9 band. Anyways, so for 9 band, 7, 8 band, 9 band, these are the things for that. So through practice, you will start understanding them. But if you do IELTS reading blindly means tukka stuff and you understand or you don't understand, then it will take more time and most of your answers will be wrong. IELTS is not a test where you can guess the answers and you get high band score without reading the questions. It's not like that, okay? So you need to develop your skill. It'll take time. See, if you solve 1 test a day and in 30 days, you expect some progress. And if you do 3 tests a day, you can expect the same progress in 10 days. Got it? 1 test a day, 30 days progress, and 3 tests a day, 10-day progress. So it depends on the time frame that you have. If you say, I've got only 30 days for IELTS, do 1 reading test a day. If you say, I've got only 10 days, then you do 3 tests a day, and you will reach that thing. Okay? All right, thank you. Okay, now we have reading last 3 questions. And if 38, 39, 40, if you answer all yes, 1 answer will be correct. If you answer all no, 1 answer will correct. Okay, 1 answer will be correct. And if you answer all not given, still 1 answer is going to be correct. Okay, but anyways, don't worry. Question number 38. Please focus. Come on. Question number 38. Moffett's research. See, once we did academic reading and right after the class, a student jumped into the canal. And rescue workers came and they rescued him, and all the time he was saying, many heights karna, something like that. So be careful, there's a canal outside. Be very careful. The pressure of IELTS reading may lead you there. Say, nerche chal maar de. Okay? So be careful. Yeah. So, question number 38, Moffett's research may help explain people's reactions to EMI. Now listen, if Moffett's research may help explain people's reaction, answer is yes. If Moffett's research does not help explain people's reaction to EMI, answer is no. And if they don't tell us whether his research helps or not, answer is not given. Okay, people's reaction. Come back. It's the second last paragraph. And yeah, second line. Let's read from there. A study by computer scientist David Moffett of Glasgow University provides a clue. He asked both experts. Now this word clue, provides a clue means help. Exactly, provides a clue. He asked both expert musicians and non-experts to assess 6 compositions. The participants weren't told beforehand whether the tunes were composed by human or computer, but were asked to guess and then rate how much they liked each one. People who thought the composer was a computer tended to dislike. Now what is this dislike? Reaction. People's reaction, okay, tended to dislike the piece more than those who believed it was human. So provides a clue, tended to dislike. Moffett's research may help explain people's reaction to EMI. Answer is absolutely. Yes, not true. जो ट्रू कह रहा है उसको पेंसिल का सिक्का चबो दो, फिर वो कहेगा yes. Yeah. Non-experts in Moffett's study all responded in predictable way. Predictable way means the way he was expecting. Non-experts in Moffett's study, come back. Non-experts in Moffett's study. Good. It's the next paragraph, same paragraph. Okay, all right. So they say here, I'm reading it from 4th line, the participants weren't told beforehand whether the tunes were composed by human or computers. Wait a minute. The non-experts in Moffett's study all responded in a predictable way. So, what do they say? But were asked or guess. Yes, come to the last line. Let's read it from 3rd last line. People who thought the composer was a computer tended to dislike the piece more than those who believed it was human. This was true even among the experts who might have been expected to be more objective in their analysis. So this was true even among the experts who might have been expected. Experts might have been expected to be more objective in their analysis. Non-experts in Moffett's study, now listen, they talked about experts. They did not say anything about, number one, they did not say anything about non-experts and the way they responded, whether that was expected or non-expected. So the answer is not given. They talked about experts. They did not talk about non-experts. And then this thing responded in a predictable way. Okay, Justin Kruger, not Trudeau. Justin Kruger's finding cast doubt. Cast doubt, underline that. So Kruger's findings means the result of Kruger, it casts doubt on Paul Bloom's theory about people's prejudice towards computer art. Cast doubt. Well done. The word prejudice is there. Where does this prejudice come from? Now please read carefully. Paul Bloom of Yale University. All of you with me? Okay, Paul Bloom of Yale University has a suggestion. He reckons part of the pleasure we get from art stems from the creative process behind the work. This can give it an irresistible essence, says Bloom. Meanwhile, experiments by Justin Kruger of New York University have shown that people's enjoyment of an artwork increases if they think more time and effort was needed to create it. Now this is the thing. He says people's enjoyment of an artwork increases if they think more time and effort was needed to create it. They say this painting was made in 5 years. This book was written in 25 years. Something like that. So people's enjoyment of an artwork increases if they think more time and effort was needed. Come back. Justin Kruger's finding cast doubt on Paul Bloom's theory about people's prejudice toward computer art. Cast doubt. Did they mention that it casts any doubt? They said have shown that. Now his research or Justin Kruger have shown that people's enjoyment, and before that they talked about prejudice. When they say shown that, shown means there is no doubt. Shown means it has proved that. So proved and shown, and the opposite of that, cast doubt. So the answer is no. Okay, so yeah, that's it.